You are appreciating the evolution of your desire? Are you finding that the contrast that you deliberately were born into is serving you well? Are you appreciating the contrast because of its life-giving quality? We always poke and prod a little bit there because often our physical friends are not that excited about the contrast in which they live. Many, especially when they realize that they are source energy, and that from that source energy perspective they came forth from a place of pure positive energy, sometimes they say, and why in the world would we project ourselves into an environment where there is so much that we don't want? What were we thinking? And they often look around their environment and find things that they like, and they say, yes, I like that. But then they look around and they see things they don't like, and they say, oh no, I do not want that. And then they resist that. They vote against it or push against it or find themselves feeling negative about it. And they often yearn for an environment. Let me find a relationship, or let me find a job, or let me find a home or a community or an environment where mostly only really good things happen. Because when I'm surrounded by really good things, I feel so much better than when there are bad things in the mix. And we say, if you did not have the ability to focus, we could understand that concern. But since you are a focusing mechanism who has the ability to give your attention to what you choose, then we know that from your broader perspective, you would far rather have a buffet of choices than a buffet with no choices. And you say, oh, but Abraham, you misunderstand. A buffet with only things I like to eat, what could possibly be wrong with that? And we say, you'd never find any improvement in what you eat. If you did not have the ability to evaluate contrast and to play what you want against what you don't want, you would not be able to come to new conclusions, which means the expansion of the universe would cease. Don't worry about it, it will never happen. You were wisely and deliberately born into an environment of enormous contrast, and from your broader non-physical perspective, you wanted that so much because you knew the value of it. So as we visit with our physical friends, we understand why, when you haven't remembered that you have the ability to focus, and even more, you haven't figured out how to guide your thoughts. In other words, when there's so much that you could think about, and so much that's being projected through your airwaves and through your interaction with one another, we can understand how confusing it must be to try to sort out all of the possible things that you might think about. It must just drive you nuts. But when you remember, and we'll help you do that today, when you remember who you are and the vibrational stance from which you have come, you're going to remember that it is not only very easy to remain focused in the direction of that which you are, but that nothing else will do from your broader perspective. It is the eternal, inevitable nature of your being to continue to expand. And you will, and are. In fact, you can't stop that expansion. It is so assured. So we want to sort of give you a very brief version of the big picture to help you to understand that you were source energy before you came into this physical body, and that you still are source energy even though you are now in this physical body. Now that's something that most humans don't really consciously acknowledge. They think, oh, I hope there was something before this, and even more, I hope there will be something after this. But few understand that you are non-physically and physically focused at the same time, and that both of those perspectives are active vibrations within you at all times. You're not dead or alive. In fact, you're never dead. You're always alive and alive. And so as you come forth from non-physical, focused into this physical body, and in this physical body, your personality, your ego, your awareness of where you stand right here and now, by your attention to different subjects, you activate vibrational frequencies within you. And the vibrational frequency that you activate as a result of what you're giving your attention to, now is having vibrational feedback from the perspective of the source within you. For example, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you feel contempt for yourself, you don't like yourself, you feel unworthy, you feel incapable, you feel guilty, you feel not enough, and you feel that negative emotion that you would call unworthiness, or you might call it guilt, or maybe even blame, self-blame. When you feel those negative emotions, the reason that those emotions are present within you is because your vantage point about you is so different from your source vantage point about you. When you look in the mirror and you feel proud of yourself, or you feel eager about something, or you like yourself, or you feel satisfaction with who you are, the reason that those feelings feel so good is because you're on the same vibrational wavelength with Source. Source, who always adores you. Same thing goes if you are looking at someone else. In other words, anytime you feel negative emotion, no matter what you call it or how extreme or soft it is, every time you feel negative emotion, it means one simple thing. You, in your human form, have deviated from your opinion of Source. Now that is a magnificent thing to understand, because when you connect with that consciously, you have now activated, in a real sense, in a real time, moment to moment, conscious sense, your own guidance system. You can always tell where you are right now in relationship with that broader perspective. And that is of enormous value to you, because that broader perspective is the culmination of all that you have become. That broader perspective is the eternal you in its most evolved form. So back to the big picture. So you are source energy, and you project part of your attention into this physical body. And as you do so, now in this physical body, you're having life experiences. You know what you don't want, you know what you do want, and you are all day, every day, whether you are speaking about it openly or not, you are launching rockets of desires or preferences. In other words, when someone's rude to you, you want them to be nicer. When your breakfast doesn't come on time, you want it to come on time. When someone is rude to you, you want them to be nicer, but when you're rude to someone, you want yourself to be nicer. When you don't feel good, you want to feel better. When you feel sick, you want to be well. When you don't have enough of something you want to have it. In other words, life causes you to constantly give birth to new conclusions. And every one of you is doing it, even if you are a one-celled organism. And the expansion of all species, the expansion of everything that is as a result of that experience. But here's the part that we think most humans have a hard time, or at least have not yet done a very good job of getting their thoughts wrapped around. So you are source energy, you come forth into a physical body, and here in this form you give birth to new ideas. And this is the part we really want you to hear. Now, the source energy part of you literally rides that rocket of your desire and becomes whatever it is you are asking for, vibrationally. Now, this might not feel so meaningful to you because you're still looking at the manifestational world. You're looking around at the world that you see, which only exists because at one time it was thought and then thought form before it took manifestation. So when we tell you that the inner being part of you instantly becomes the vibrational equivalent of that which you are asking for, sometimes you don't feel all that excited about it, but we would if we were standing in your physical shoes, because that's the beginning of the creation of whatever it is that you are asking for. In fact, it's such an important part of the story of creation and such an important part of how you create your own reality that we've written a book and given it the best title that we think has ever been given to a book: Ask and It Is Given. And the reason we like that title so much is because the title tells the whole story. Ask and It Is Given. We wanted a longer title, but the publisher didn't think it was a good idea. We wanted the title to say, so I'm non-physical energy and I project part of that consciousness into the physical form. And as I come into the physical form, the life experience that I'm living causes me to constantly weigh the pros and the cons of what I'm living and give birth to constant rockets of desires. And when that happens, the non-physical part of me not only answers what I'm asking for, not only gives me what I'm asking for, but literally becomes the vibrational equivalent of that which I'm asking for. But they said it was too long. But Ask and It Is Given tells you the same thing. When life causes you to ask, Source not only gives it, but becomes it. Now, if you just heard that, then you have just found the key to the guidance within you, because these 2 points of vibrational relativity will help you always know whether you are on the same wavelength of that which source is. And this is particularly important when you remember what we just said, that your life caused you to want more of this, to want an improvement of this. In other words, you have incrementally been building this picture of your life experience even before you came into this physical body, and emphatically ever since, so that you have created this powerful beingness, this leading edge beingness that already exists, and source stands there being it, pulsing it. And law of attraction, hear this, law of attraction is responding to that vibrational state of being. Did you get that? That means, as law of attraction is summoning to that expanded version of you, talk about a life force. Talk about inspiration. Talk about the stream of life. Talk about the call of source. In other words, are you getting a sense of why you feel compelled or inspired to move in the direction you do? It's because life has caused you, through what you're living, to literally expand and become more. And that expanded version of you now must be. Many of you have to croak before you let it be. We like that word, croak. We try to be as disrespectful as we can about the idea of death, since there isn't any. But sometimes your life causes you to be this expanded version of you, but instead of letting yourself go to where you want to be, you beat the drum of what is, and so you hold yourself apart from your expansion, and you feel terrible while you do it, but then when you die, the gap closes. So what we're wanting you to remember, that there is no such thing as death, but when you have that experience that you call death, you release your habits of thought that are the only thing that are hindering you from being what life has caused you to become. So we call this gathering the art of allowing, and it really is the art of closing that gap. It's the art of allowing myself in my physical human form to be what life has caused me to become. It's the art of releasing resistance and allowing the energy that creates worlds to flow through me. It's the art of coming into vibrational alignment, not only with who I was before I was born, but who I have become since. It is the art of coming into vibrational alignment with the pure positive energy being that I am constantly in the state of becoming. You get this? So when you have feelings of unfulfillment, when you feel not enough, when you feel dissatisfied, that means you're just not letting yourself get up to speed with you. It's sort of like a two-headed monster, and we want both heads to go in the same direction. So now you've heard this story of who you are, and now we want you to get the fuller sense that this story of the cycle of life, which represents you from non-physical coming into physical, giving birth to new thoughts that the non-physical part of you becomes, as you begin to understand this cycle of life that law of attraction is at the heart of, then you begin to understand the eternal nature of your being. We are all eternal beings. And you are on the leading edge, giving birth to new expansion, and source immediately becomes it. How good is that? Well, we say, from our vantage point, it is magnificent. And from your vantage point, when you let yourself be up to speed with it, you think it is magnificent too. But when life causes you to be something that you don't, for whatever reason, let yourself be, then it beats up on you pretty good. Imagine taking your canoe down to the river's edge and putting it in the water, very fast-moving river, and you have your oars inside, and you deliberately point your canoe upstream and begin paddling very hard against the current. And we say, why not turn and go with the current? Why not turn and go with the flow? And most humans say, to tell you the truth, it never entered my mind. Because everyone I know who wants to amount to anything is trying harder than that. That just seems lazy. And so I have positioned myself, you say, I have a really good boat, I have really good oars, see how they're hooked onto the edge there? I have moleskin on my hands, and I have muscles, and even more, I have determination.